Order filled. Order filled. Order canceled.
Yo, good morning. How's everyone doing today? Good morning. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat. Give me a 1 or just give me something in the chat. Say good morning. Let me know where you're coming in from. Today is, what's today? Tuesday, the 7th of April. We're going to be trading the Dow Jones today. We're also going to be trading the ES if some opportunities do arise. Having actually a pretty good morning so far. Actually can get ready to make a trade here. There's been a lot of action in the morning so far. We can see before I get into all of the range trade over here on the left side, I'll let you know of a trade that I took already today. So I was waiting for the ATR here for the MYM to be 823, and I need 50% of that. Prodson Swift, what's up? Thank you. Good morning. So I was waiting for half of that. We got to 451 currently, so that green lighted me to trade. So I got to my desk this morning and pretty much took a trade here at the EMA. Got a little bit of slippage here, but then took a second one after watching it pretty much consolidate for most of the morning. I really wasn't worried about putting on a 2-lot there. Then I was able to put my target pretty much right at POC. All right, so right at volume point of control, we were able to take some profit there and then go line to line all the way up to VWAP. That was my second target for the day. So far for the day, up just about $70 across all my different accounts. As you might have saw in the thumbnail, my Lucid funds, my Lucid account, I am pretty close to passing these evals. So these are all evals after I had all of my Apex accounts taken from me. I had to start from scratch. So I've been starting with a couple. You can look in the description and see exactly what I'm trading with. Lucid, very reputable brand. They don't give me an affiliate code. They don't really give many people affiliate codes. So you could try them. I put in the description, guys, try all these, like do your own research, because I know like even Goat Funded up here, they're Trustpilot, they get crappy reviews. All right. There's a pretty good chance I'm never getting money from them, but I like to give people the benefit of the doubt before anything happens. And then Bulenox is the other that we're trading with, but Lucid only has a target of 1250. So it's a little bit of a stretch. I'd have to have a really, really good day to get to 240, but completely not out of reach, especially starting the day with 70. Yeah. So we're going to hang out here, get some things done, looking at kind of my targets and what I'm thinking about going into the day. As I just mentioned, I really want to make sure that I am at 50% of the ATR. So we're at that. Both of these ATR has been going down for both of these. I think we were seeing them in the thousands a couple weeks ago, right when the war started and things like that. But ES at a 122, even that is pretty much right there in range. So we're right at volume point of control for the ES. So I'm also looking at that as well. But I like primarily the Dow. That's my go-to. And we can see marked on this chart, what you're going to be seeing on this chart. We have the high of yesterday's session and the low of yesterday's session marked in red and in green. Moving up, we have a trend line. So this lets me know that we are kind of in a bull continuation pattern. So this is a 233 EMA. The little white dotted lines, those are value point of control. Value area, highs and lows. And then we have these yesterday's volume point of control and then today's volume point of control. So those are really the things that I'm looking at for both entries and exits. You can also see in the top left side of your screen, I like to use the Bookmap mostly just for exits. It definitely helps me hold on to trades a little bit longer. All right, so we can see right now it's kind of mixed. I think the market's going to chop around a little bit until we get to the open, but we're trying not to predict the market, so I don't really need to worry about it that much. I just kind of react to the market. So I'll use that as well. If we see sometimes we have big blocks and it will act as a magnet towards those continuing blocks. And yeah, that's it. I don't diddle in the middle. So when we're nice and dark here, I don't really mess around too much. I kind of wait. My next entry is going to be here. So we would buy this.
Order submitted.
We would sell here.
Order submitted.
We would buy here.
Order submitted.
I just put the orders on the lines and then we wait. All right.
Order submitted.
So that's pretty much it. All right. So if you have any questions about, that's the setup. And like I said, boring, not exciting, not the biggest deal in the world, but it definitely gets the job done. Good morning, everybody that hopped in. Thank you. I'm on spring break from school, so I am going to try and live stream most of the days this week if I can. I do have 2 little kids, so I'll probably stay on here for about an hour, see what happens. If I'm in a trade, I'll stay on. If nothing's really happening, I'll probably hop off. But I hope to stream every day this week, especially as if I can get closer to passing these evals. It would be cool. I've never gotten passing an eval live on live stream. I've never even had it recorded. So it'd be cool to go back and look at later on if I can catch it on stream. If not, it doesn't happen that way. Should I go to maybe try and put on some music here? Let's see. I can do this. Google Chrome. Let's go to Spotify. Let's get some lo-fi in the background. I know there's usually ads, so we have to see because I don't have premium yet, so I'll have to figure something out. Let's see. Was this lo-fi? let's see here. There we go. So at least get something in the background there. Right on. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little cough. Yeah, no, I have been not even blowing up because I've never really been like a YOLO kind of day trader. I come from a swing trading background, so I'm used to like holding on to trades a long time. But even with the NQ, it was always like a week or two of really, really good trades and good progress, and then not like a tape bomb like we've been seeing, but there was just always one day. And there, as I've seen here, even trading the micros with the MY and the ES, the YM and the ES, every like maybe 2 times a week, I have a really, really rough day where I hit my max loss for the day. We're now trading micros. That's just, I lose 200, 250 bucks and I move on to the next day. And my win rate right now is like 88 to 90%. So, you know, I can manage that storm where when I was trading minis or the NQ, now that day was blowing up accounts. So it just it became a lot easier to manage risk when I went not only down to the YM and the ES. I think those are definitely a huge reason why, but I think more importantly was going to micros. I know that I'm going to progress. Like right now, like MY least value, volatile. And then as I get better as a trader, I just needed to look myself in the mirror and be like, I wasn't good enough to trade the NQ. I just wasn't good enough. So, I mean, that's the goal. I don't want to say I'm never going to go to the NQ. I mean, who knows? But now I'm in a position where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if I don't need to worry about like pleasing people or posting like I don't have Instagram or anything like that. I'm not like posting my trades. I don't need to worry about all that, especially being older. Like I don't give a shit what people are getting or saying about my trades. So I have no problem just making like, even if I were to stop today, you know, $70 across 12 accounts, what is that? Like I think about my day job and I'm like, okay, that's $840. And the amount of people that say to me like, oh, you only made $65. It's like, yeah, I only made $65, but hold on, that just got loud. Yeah, like I only made $65, but I copied them across a lot of accounts and things got better. So I think as long as you could manage like, all right, it's not that serious, you know, or I don't need to worry or validate myself to other people and what they're doing. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I can't recommend, and who I learned from is in the description of the video. You can go down and check it out, The Futures Fanatic. But something that he said, it just like, I don't know, it just slapped me in the face and was like, why aren't I doing this a lot simpler? You know, why aren't I doing this for me as opposed to the validation of others on Twitter and things like that? You know, now if I make a little bit every day, and that's the other thing too, is I had to figure out what my max loss should be. Like people use percentages and they say like 10% of your account, 1% of your whatever, but then their green days, they don't offset that. So I'm lucky. Actually, let me go into TradeZilla. I'll show you quick. Like I'm very lucky in the fact that I have right now in these particular markets, because not every market is going to fit your strategy as well. So right now, as a mean reversion trader, this fits my strategy very well. Like, look, I'm 90%, but my average winning days are still a lot lower than my average, like my big loser. But like even last month, when I'm only having 1 to 2 losing days, so we see like 1,000, 800, 600, 200, 400, 500, my losing days are like $1,000 or $2,000. So right now, it definitely takes a good high winning percentage to offset all of those losers. But as I continue to be able to hold trades a little bit longer and raise up these green days, you know, that's going to make a monumental difference, right? And then I could still have the same win rate. Say I'm still at a 2-to-1 profit factor right now. I just couldn't do that with minis, and I couldn't do that with the NQ. It was too slow. I mean, it was too fast. Like I said, I wasn't good enough. And I also think, I will say that I know, especially when I was younger, I definitely wanted that. I liked trading I liked it for the action. But now when I'm trading, I'm teaching. So I'm a school teacher. So like I can't trade while I'm teaching, obviously, in class. So I'm trying to get all my trades done in between periods or on my lunch break, or even now being on break. I need to be able to multitask. I need to give my kids most of my attention because that's very important to me, things like that. So with this particular style, like we have right here, I just put the orders on the lines, turn my volume way up on my computer, and then I walk around and do whatever I got to do in the house. I play catch with my son, you know, and then when I hear order filled, I just go check. So it's when I was trading the NQ, I was just like, all my trades were like boom, boom, trying to get like in and out. I think now my average trade duration is a little over 7 minutes. Like this happened quick. I think I got in at 8:37, and I was fully out at 8:55. That's a fast trade for me. So a lot of it is just like kind of hanging out. And I also found, I'm just ranting today, that I did better when I started walking away, right? Because I didn't necessarily have to worry too much about my P&L so much. And I was pulling off my winners. Too soon. Like this line to line never could happen if I was like staring at my computer like this. That's like almost where streaming hurts me a little bit, because this was, I entered and then I just walked away. And then I heard order filled. And this happened quick. This was 8:55 and 50 seconds, 8:55, 54 seconds. So like all of this was like an hour, and then it was like order filled, order filled. I was like, sweet. By the time I could go over to the computer and check this order filled, this one had already triggered as well. So, I mean, that's not a bad way to start the day. So if any of y'all had any questions about all of that, that was a lot. Just plugging my computer in here. Plugging it in. No, it came down. We almost got in, huh? Almost got in. On top chat, I gotta put it on everybody. There's a little bit of news on the session today, but it was mostly at 8:30. I didn't see any red folder events. These are all evals, so I don't need to worry about trading news. When I get to fund it, I'll have to worry about trading news. But I don't have to worry about trading news just yet. And obviously my live accounts, I don't need to worry about trading news. Ton of orders down below on the Bookmap. I think we're going to go down. It's fun to predict. I don't like to, but it's fun to predict that right now we are exactly in the middle of yesterday's range, right at volume point of control yesterday as well. But we can see the difference like 2 days ago. So this red line and this green line is 2 days ago. So super tight range. And I think that was like before the holiday, right? So that was Thursday, this range. And then we opened it up a little bit more. And right now we're dealing with about half of it. But man, I hope we get some good news about, what's going on in the Middle East. It's one, not great, but two, it makes it hard to trade. If you're a swing trader and you're holding right now, man, this has got to be so crappy. It's got to be, we're on 6 months of really consolidation, right? Up and down and up and down. And obviously we pulled back. But I think, say April 7th? Yeah, I looked. April 7th was really the low that we hit last year. And I think we're still up like on the S&P. I think we're still up like 20-something% from last year's April 7th. You can fact check me on that. But yeah, we just been going sideways for mean reversion. This is our market. This is awesome. I think we could find a lot of struggle in this on the days. And those have really been my red days. My red days, I think 2 Fridays ago is when it just dumped all day. Like I couldn't manage the goal. I couldn't defend it. I was taking some off and then trying to better my position, taking some off and better my position. But the good news is when it got to my loss, I just closed my computer. Right? Red days are going to happen. Same conversation I had with my son when he got really upset the first time he struck out. I'm like, dude, you think you were going to go through your entire career and never strike out? Good thing you got out of the way quick. Same with red days. You're not going to go your entire career without having a red day. So just take it. Oh, there's that. The ads. I guess I'm not trading that well if I have to if I can't have regular Spotify. If I'm being honest, I have Apple Music, so does Apple Music have like royalty-free lo-fi? I wonder if they do. I got to look into that. This summer when I'm off from school, if I'm going to stream daily, I'll invest in Spotify Premium, so we don't have to listen to all the ads. I think they usually do like 2 minutes of ads. Let's see what it says. 1 of 3. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the ads. Then we'll go back to some lo-fi. Now orders are pulling up above. So we're going to go see VWAP. Let's go see VWAP. What was that message? Let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah, so I don't use this for entries, but it definitely tends to pull towards orders. So like if I was in a trade and like maybe I had my take profit here, or even going down below, maybe I'm short and I had my take profit here, I might hold a little bit longer and see if it comes down and wants to touch these orders. Or like I said, I use it more for exits, not entries. I don't do the big bubbles. I turn the bubbles off. If you've ever seen this, some people like these all little bubbles on there. I just turn the bubbles off. Like I said, I'm not using them for entries or exits. It's just more of a confluence for me. And it's just what I use for level 2. Now, I will say there's a good chance as we approach market open here in 10 minutes that if I'm not in, there's a good chance I might just flatten out and just see what's going on, because I don't want to get a huge volatile move in that first 2 minutes of the market open, especially being up on the day, right? I'm all about risk management and preserving capital. I don't need to have any huge like base, and I don't hit home runs. I'm a base hit kind of guy. Like a good green day for me is like $125 across all the accounts, like $1,000 a day across all the accounts. Pretty good stuff. So now that we've kind of done this and we do have range all the way down to here, I said I'm prepared to take heat, but I really need to be prepared to go all the way down to the range down here, right? So I don't know if I necessarily want to enter this right into the start of the day. We'll see. Yeah, base hits definitely add. I mean, just like anything. And the older I get, the more I realize that small stacking bricks over time that's the long-term goal. You know, I just can't believe, I look back in hindsight how much I just like, not get rich quick, but like I thought things should be coming faster. And being an ultra runner, I run a lot. I never could have imagined my 120-mile weeks. You know, when I first started, 120-mile week sounded impossible. And now it happens, but it took 3 years of 6-mile weeks, 8-mile weeks, 10-mile weeks. The same holds true here. And I can't believe I never figured it out. It's just, hey, just stack small bricks over time. And now it's like, it used to be how much money can I make? Now it's how long can I go without losing all my money? How long can I go just like making this happen? Like I think today on this eval, I think I'm on trade day 21. Like it is as recent as 6 months ago. If I would have said to myself, like, it's going to take you 30 days, like I never could have lasted in an eval 30 days. I think before this, I've gone through I think I've probably failed probably like 20 to 25. I have a whole list. I'm going to do a video when I pass this, but I think 20 or so with a couple passes, couple funded accounts. I don't think any of my evals ever lasted more than like a week. I think like 7 to 10 trading days was like very far. Now it's like, okay, you know, I fully expect. That's why my issue with Apex and why I got banned from Apex was I asked the CEO, hey, it was great. I didn't mind paying monthly. Like I knew that it was going to take me more than 30 days to pass. I didn't mind paying the extra month. And then you made these accounts end at 30 days. I said, hey, could you maybe consider giving us an option to pay for a second month? Because to me, it looks like you want to put that time frame on people and make them have to rush their strategy. Like I said to him, I feel like I need to rush and gamble at the end of this eval when I get to 30 days. And he banned me and terminated me for that because that's talking trash. Just made a very simple suggestion. But now I fully expect, which is why that's why I went to Lucid. Like one-time no activation fee is like, I can just sit here for as long as I need to. And yeah, it's crappy looking at what once was all funded and having them all be evals now. But when we stack these bricks and we move towards it and we're like, okay, we're good to go. We're good to go. We're good to go. Now in a month or so, all of these evals are going to be funded again. And then we'll be back to where we were. You know, that's the mindset I had to have. Nice. Awesome. Yeah. And I hate to say like, screw them, because I had a great experience with them. It's just John, just their CEO. Like, I think the greatest announcement that Apex could ever make would be like, John moved on. We have a new CEO. And all the people that he banned for talking to him or asking him questions, y'all can come back. Like, that would be great. I haven't turned my back on Apex forever. I turned my back on John. The guy's unhinged. It's crazy. And so like, yeah, if he was ever gone, I would come back. I would come back. Simple as that, but I can't. I can't because I don't want to, and I can't because he banned me. It's easier for me to be like, I won't date him. He broke up with me first. He broke up with me first. Oh, let's see, these ads are over. Are you over?
Every dig, every
Nope.
time. Always call 811.
Oh, when I go away from the when I go away from it, it's so annoying. I guess when I go away from it, when I minimize it, that's dumb. Maybe because I muted it, they stopped it, so I just put the volume really low. Tons of orders down below and above. That's like, who knows where it's going to go. I think looking at the Bookmap right now is a perfect example of like, do not predict the markets. We have no idea where it's going to go. It could easily just go up, easily go down. Easily go up, easily go down. Being that we're right at VWAP, I'll probably just take off these -1s and +1s. I mean, if we get movement all the way up to yesterday's range, yesterday's session high, or we get down to that trend, I'd feel comfortable entering there. So we'll see. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left until the open.
Order canceled.
Like
Order
I said,
canceled.
if I was just starting my day now, I might leave those on, but I am in risk preservation, capital preservation, and I'm not trying to give back a really, really nice trade to start the day. I'm just trying to get like opening volatility. I know the strategy doesn't care what time it is. The strategy doesn't care what your P&L is. I understand that. But I just don't need a huge whipsaw or something just to put me in a spot where I feel uncomfortable. Because it kind of looks like we're just getting ready for something. Like this was a little bit like this move, this consolidation here, and then this huge move. Like that's pre-market. So just imagine what could happen if we did this, and then we'll see. But we'll find out in a minute and 15 seconds. I am a super small channel. If you are watching, if you can hit the thumbs up, just to let the algos know that I'm breathing over here, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it. And definitely keep the chat going. It makes it easier for me to feel like I'm not just doing this alone. 30 seconds to the open. What do you think? We going up or down? What are we doing? Are we hitting -1s first or +1s? Looking at the book map, it looks like +1s. All right, ding, ding, ding. We're open for business. Nothing crazy, not bad. Opening right on volume point of control is definitely nice. Right that EMA, right the volume point of control.
Order submitted.
All right, now we can go back to playing ball.
Order submitted.
See what happens here. Like I said, the difference between a minute ago was we could have seen a 100-point swing up and down right at the open. Probably not going to happen, but said it's not worth finding out. Now if something crazy happens, it would have happened anyway. So, but look at the book map. It got a lot more colorful, a lot more orders on the books. That's the difference between trading pre-market and when the cash session actually opens. Now we just wait. I know people that are a little bit more experienced have no problem going long there at VPOC. I'm just in the position with my skill level where I'm just not ready to diddle in the middle there yet. But a second possible add would be down here at value area low. So we might consider throwing one in there. See if we are able to get in here. That's another thing. When the strategy isn't reckless and the strategy doesn't make you feel like sick to your stomach, I want it to come down. I want to be in. You know, even when I was like micro scalping, I still wanted to be in a trade. I'm just much better now at sitting on my hands and waiting for it to happen and waiting for it to come to me.
Order filled.
We're in.
Order filled.
Now it's very simple. Put our order up here.
Order submitted.
And we see what happens. Right at value area low. That just happened a little bit quickly for me to want to get in a value area low. Ton orders down below on the book map. Probably get sucked down to there. Definitely want to see some stuff pop up top.
Order
I'll
submitted.
add here.
Order filled.
Back in. Because I don't want to be over leveraged. Like I said, I will take a little
Order
bit off
submitted.
here. This allows me to hold a little bit more inventory all the way line to line if it happens. And if I'm in at the -2s, right, then I'll take one off at the -1s. I don't love being in multiple contracts, but if the strategy aligns to it and it makes sense, I have no problem. Like, I'm not worried by any means just yet.
Order filled.
Okay, so now I can put one in here.
Order submitted.
Now this is where we kind of have to pay attention and see where it happens. There might be a time where I have to take this off and kind of better this position if it continues to, go against me. This is a really, really big expansive candle. So we'll see what happens. Still a ton of orders down below. Scaring the kids a little here. I thought about peeling one off there so I could add another down here, but I want to give it a little bit of time. Don't want to rush. Yeah, Bookmap says we're still going down. What do you want to do, Dow? What do you want to do? Look at these orders down here. 525. We should see that. Definitely should come down and see this 525 to 520 area. Here it comes. man, I just keep thinking about like how much different the mental side of this would be if I was in the mini. I think my day would have been over already if I was in the mini.
Contractor, you might be getting squeezed. Materials, labor, it's all getting tighter.
Freaking commercials.
Unexpected fines and utility
Freaking
repair costs like
commercials. Yeah, we're going to push up here. Definitely going to be looking to try and peel one off. Take a little graceful exit, as they say, and then give myself the opportunity to get back down. If it comes back, we push up into this area here. There's a good chance I'll take one off, and then I can give myself an opportunity to re-enter back down to -2s. We'll see. Definitely feel a lot more comfortable if we could get above the 233 as well on both the 233 here and the 233 here. That'd be nice. How you guys doing today? You guys in trades? Green? Red? In a trade? How you guys doing? You're right on the pop and drop. Prod, you were right there. Hope you're able to sell the pop and get some of that drop. Go down. Right back down. Nice huge wick would be dope. Yeah, I mean, really not getting any major pressure from either side right now. Yeah. I mean, we've just been chopping now since 9:36 essentially. Yeah, I mean, even in here. We'll see. It definitely doesn't seem like it necessarily wants to push down all day. But like I said, on the book map, there's nothing above. There's just a ton of buyers down below that want to buy down here. So, I mean, I'm not super confident on it pushing to the upside until we see these orders clear out or we see something pop up here. Like these buyers, they want orders and the market wants these orders full. So, like I said, but this is 526-ish. So we'll see what happens. 526 is like right here. That's kind of why I have had it sitting there at 526, because those are the orders I want to see get out of there, which is kind of why I just want a little bit of pop so that I can take one off and then expect to come down at 526 and can add then there and have my average price be way lower. Yeah, if it's lower, I can try and make it a little bit louder. Let me know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I can try and boost it a little bit. You tell me if it's too loud. I appreciate that feedback. Let me know if that's a little bit better. If that's a little bit better, there's some more selling. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's definitely not an ideal candle right now. But we take what the market gives to us, and yeah, we just go from there. Del Tango, is that a little bit better on the volume, bud, or still pretty low? Definitely don't want to be screaming in your ear. All right, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. That's awesome. I got the level set now. I kind of know where it needs to be. Yeah, just a nice little push would be dope. Just so we can peel one off and re-enter. So for anybody that's just getting here, we are in -1. We took another one at value area low. And then we took another one at this -2, which happened to be right at the trend line. And since then, it's just continued just to leak down a little bit lower. I'm looking at the book map. It looks like it wants to keep on leaking down to the downside. Luckily, we started the day off a little bit green, give ourselves a little bit more buffer. It gives me the opportunity to add that third contract because all my ads and everything are dictated by what the P&L is on the day. I was told for so many years, don't trade your P&L, don't trade your P&L. And then I started trading my P&L and I started winning. And I started getting out when I should be getting out and things like that. Go down. Let's get above this EMA. I think it'd be super telling what happens on this next candle. A lot of times we see these huge candles. We'll see an open and then like maybe a little push lower. And then like, I mean, this is a great example. This is very common from what I've seen. I mean, this isn't exactly an example, but usually when we have like this huge candle right here, we'll open towards the bottom. So I expect an open down in here and then just a little push lower, just clear out some liquidity. And then it tends to go back in the right direction. We'll see. That's kind of would be ideal here. I'm going to take one off here.
Order filled.
I took a loss on that, but now that gives me the opportunity and the risk tolerance to be able to add back down here if I really need to. So that's is first in, first out. So I did take a loss on that trade. And there it goes. There's a part of me that wants it right up at the bottom of this wick here. We almost saw the order green there for a second. Now see how the book map is flipped where we had a ton of orders below. Now we got a ton of orders above, which is nice. It's nice to see. And hopefully it works just the way it's been working where it continues to leak upwards, but we'll see what happens. So my two standing orders are still open are these two right here. That's why it's putting my average right there, right in between those two orders. I will most likely re-enter down here depending. I'm just watching to see what the rest of this candle does. This definitely moves here. But as you see, if we continue to push up, VWAP should pull up a little bit more. So I don't need to move them. It's just more psychology for me. Right? Doesn't it always happen when you peel it off? I'm going to take this swing high here because then we'd be in a position where we'd be back to -1 so we can get in. So we see we opened this trade. We were $60 up on the day, something like that. Maybe $70 up on the day. So we can see we're starting to chip our way back to that after being down a fair amount. I'm actually going to peel that off now because now I can really start to think about going line to line and I can think about re-entering back at that -1 if it continues to push a little bit more. Said in a much better situation than we were a little while ago. So right now, realized on the day, not that much, but I still have a nice open trade. Good to go. I'm not sure if I'm ready to hop back in the -1s here yet. Just because we're coming to the end of this candle here, 4 minutes. And just as fast as it just went up, it could go right back down. That's another reason I'm not willing to enter here at the -1s just yet. And also, too, I don't want to worse my position. So right now my average cost is right down there. So I'd feel way more comfortable because I do have inventory on. If it bounces off the -1s here, it bounces off the -1s. Good, I'm already in a position. Essentially, I'm in a position not at the -1s. I'm down below. And what that allows me to do as well is, like I said, if we come back down to that 525 area, I can get back in and lower my average cost even more, and still with the overall goal of always pushing towards VWAP. But now with a 1 lot on, I won't be the only time I'll be moving that target is I'll be moving it with VWAP. I won't peel it off early. Which, like I said, is another good thing about having micros over minis. Is I feel like when I was in a micro, when I was in a mini, it was either there was like 2 outcomes. It was either yes or no, right? There was no trade management. I couldn't say like, all right, things are going good now. Things are going bad now. Let's peel one off. Let's better. I never was able to have that. I was never really able to trade, right? It was just, I needed to be right. I needed to get in and then I was right or I was wrong. This allows me to trade, the action of managing price and bettering my position and taking a little off here and adding a little bit more there. It's just, it feels a lot more skill based when I can act in micros than luck based when I was trading minis. Now, one day maybe I'll have the trade capital where I can trade minis the way I'm trading micros. I mean, maybe that will happen one day, but right now I'm far from that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Delta. Yeah, no, I mean, I've gone through the smaller phase before. I mean, my main channel has what 135,000, 140,000 subscribers. And I remember these early days of when things were slow. And as I mentioned early in the stream, I definitely am getting older, and this is my trade journal. You know, this allows me, it's actually nice when there's red where we go into a little bit of drawdown. I can go back and recap it, but thank you. I appreciate that. My goal is always to quote, help people, as you said. And really the people that I'm trying to help are my kids. My kids are young, but one day I want them to be able to go back and learn from me if this is something that they want to do. When I'm learning, I had to filter out who I'm going to trust and who's real and who's not real, which makes the learning process really, really hard. So just like with my main channel and just investing and living frugally and living below your means in general, like retirement investing, my kids know that they can go to that as a resource to learn from me. And I hope that if they ever want to dabble in the world of trading, they can come back and watch these streams and be like, wow, their dad was pretty dope once upon a time. But thank you. I do appreciate the feedback and the comments as well, because all those little engagement things, they definitely help. So here's that new candle. Let's see if I was right. So push, I think, see a little bit lows on it. And then generally it tends to at least want to try and work its way back up and reclaim some of that candle. We'll see what happens. Still got a ton of those orders below. those orders below, I think, is where we're going to go down and just see how low this candle, if this candle wants to continue to push lower. If not, we'll see. But in hindsight, definitely glad I peeled off when I did, get myself in a much better position. Yeah, trading is very lonely. Yeah, I do. I have so my main channel I started in 2017, and back in 2017 I was getting ready to get married. I just got engaged, and I was like, okay, now it's time to start thinking about money. And I knew that I wanted to retire earlier than the norm. I also live in a very, very expensive state. So I knew that if I was going to buy a house and things like that, I needed to have my money right. And so I started a channel on just paying off debt. That channel evolved maybe 3 years later when I got out of debt to investing. I kind of became a professional in retirement accounts, 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, Roth IRAs, solo, all those stuff. So then my channel for 3 years really focused on building those portfolios and things like that. And then once I had all that settled up, I learned about options and started trading options a lot. And now my channel over there is pretty much trading options. I have a book on trading options, things like that. So that's what the main channel right now is primarily focused on. And when I tried to introduce futures and day trading to that channel, it was just too much conflicting things. I had all the options people being like, I don't care about trading. And then I had all the trading people be like, why are you posting videos on options? So I said, all right, well, the best thing to do, because it is very, very hard as a quote unquote YouTuber to make a video on a channel that has 135,000 subscribers and have it show you monetary feedback immediately, right? I am monetized over there. A stream like this would make me a little bit of money. So to be to like say I'm going to forfeit income to grow a separate community and a separate channel, it's hard to do. But when you have your things lined up, and we're not talking a lot of money, but it's still money. It's definitely helped. And the Discord is kind of separated in that way too. Like now in Patreon, I have a trader option and an options option. So it's been nice kind of just to finally say, we're going to have a trading channel and a trading platform, and then we're going to have the options side. But yeah, this can definitely be a lonely, lonely sport. Nice. You caught it. You did catch the pump and dump. Nice. That is sick. I'm very happy for you. Awesome. I'm hoping that I was able, with 5 minutes to go in this candle, predict just a little bit lower and then a push up. Hoping I'm right. But yeah, while you were on the call, we definitely leaped lower, got ourselves into a little bit of drawdown. I pulled down just so I could enter again. And when I pulled off so I could re-enter, pulled right up, took that one. So we're still in for one and looking to enter again at the -2s. I will hedge my swing trades with options, not this stuff. It would be too much for me to manage, like getting in a trade and hedging it bad, especially because these I'm not holding very long. But my longer swing plays with options, definitely I use those as a hedge for sure. I'm not sure how much you know about options, but I definitely try and stay as delta neutral as possible, if that makes any sense to you. Your name is Delta Tango, but yeah, so in the options world, I definitely try and stay as delta neutral as possible. Whether I'm hedging it with an instrument similar to it, or I'm just hedging other plays in industry standards to stay delta neutral, it's definitely something that I think about on the broader scheme of things. So we've been on about an hour and 10 minutes, guys. Full disclosure, at 10:30 Eastern, I have to exit the stream and go be a dad, regardless of whether this trade's open. I don't want this trade to like go against me a little bit more and then be like, gotta go, bye, so that you guys can't see the carnage. But I'm just like 10:30 Eastern, I gotta go. That will be just dad life and me having the computer and just putting some orders on the lines and managing them. There's the push. It's happening quick, so I'm just going to watch this for a second, especially with those orders down there. This is all risk management, guys. It's just, I want to go.
Order submitted. Order filled.
A great one to start the day, and now we've been battling. So I'm talking to you, Chad. I'm on mute. Said I had a good one to start the day, and now it's been a battle. So I'm battling right now. The prediction was wrong. Just bleeding more to the downside. See, looking at yesterday's range, though, like I said early in the stream, we'd have to be prepared to come all the way down here today, and it's kind of where we're at. Came right up and touched the top of the range. See if we can come down and touch the bottom of the range today. If it does that, we might be taking L's on the day. Where does that look? That looks like it's down here. Yeah. That'd be a tough day. But just as easily as we did before, we can get a pop. Our situation can change very quickly, especially in these markets. I'd love to go up and get all of those orders. Where is that? 543. Be nice to go up there. That would not suck. Pretty much right in my break even where all those orders are sitting. It's kind of crazy how the days kind of worked out like this, where we had a little bit of consolidation and then a quick push up and right back down. And then we saw that little bit of consolidation, push up, right back down. I have like the scratchiest throat today. Something I eat for breakfast is just scratching away.
Order submitted. Let's get through those orders. Let's go. Push. Get through there, buyers. There you go. Keep working your way up, buyers. There you go. Keep going. Go down.
Looking for your next favorite game on Switch or Switch 2? Check out Nintendo Voice Chat, IGN's flagship Nintendo podcast, hosted by me, Logan Plants. I've covered Nintendo for a decade, and every Friday, my expert panel and I bring you impressions of these games, nostalgic retrospectives, and important news updates. If you love Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, or anything else Nintendo, talk to us. Nintendo Voice Chat right here on Spotify.
Go now. Come on.
And follow us.
There you go. There you go.
Hi, I'm Linus Sebastian. I'm Luke Lafreniere. And together we host The WAN Show, a once-a-week podcast on technology, the tech industry.
I find myself getting more emotion when it like starts to go in than when it goes down. Like I get more excited than I get nervous, if that makes sense. Like I'm like, oh, there it goes. There it goes. Go do some stuff up higher. Go find the trends. Statistics don't lie. Push through those orders, buyers. Don't get rejected. Push through them. Go. Oh, that's not what we want. Go. Go up higher. Go down. Yeah, we all think the same thing. Especially if we're in a trade wanting to go our same way. It's funnier when, you know, if we're fading each other and I'm cheering for it to go up and you're cheering for it to go down. That's the beauty of this. Anybody can win, whether you're up or down. And I like to think every time I lose in a trade, someone I think is really dope won that trade. So it's kind of like when I have to pay into my pension. Instead of being like, oh, I got to pay 6% into my pension, I think, all right, I used to work with this guy and he's retired now. So I'm really just funding his retirement, which is totally okay with me. And then one day when I leave, the younger people will be excited to fund my retirement. So same with trading. When I take a red day, I'm like, man, I really hope that someone I really like and respect, they faded me and I just put money in their pocket. Yep. Yeah, no, I'm looking. It's finally starting to be spring here in the Northeast, so I'm looking forward to whatever outcome happens, and then going on a nice long run, getting some exercise in today, and playing catch with my son. I actually bought a new skateboard and a longboard. It comes today, so definitely get some pushes in this afternoon. I just got to pee a little bit. I usually plan for an hour. My wife's in the shower. As soon as she's out, I got to go pee. Go down. Let's set a record for the biggest wick ever on a 30-minute candle. That would be awesome. How big can we make this wick? How big can we make this wick? We could probably make it pretty big. It could be the biggest wick the world has ever seen. It'll be a huge, beautiful wick. So huge. The amount of wicking. Frankly, we've never seen wicking like this before. Go down. Wow, we might get to see this number green. We haven't seen that in a couple hours. Been battling. Actually, no, I think when we pulled this one off, right, we were green for a little bit. It was in the green. I pretty much right now, if anybody's curious, I'm even on the day. So entered this debacle up about $60 on the day. So now I'm pretty much right at break even for the day. Which, all things considering how nasty that was, we got to be pretty happy with that, right? Just go to that swing high. I'll take that off, and then if we need to re-enter again, we can re-enter again.
Order filled.
Good. So we like that a lot. Go down. So now with that close, I realize I'm still down on the day, but here's where we're working totals, $30 or so. And it is a beautiful wick. That is the wick that we were searching for through all of the past wicks and all of the past markets. Finally, today, it's a wick we can be proud of. And same for anybody that was here before. Sorry for repeating myself, just trying to think out loud here. This would be a situation if I wasn't in a trade where we can come up and then I might re-enter at the -1s. The reason I'm not entering at the -1s, one, we've had a lot of red today. But also, two, I don't want to make my position necessarily worse. So I don't want to move up my average price, if that makes sense. Go Dow. Go Dow. Yowzers. Let's go right to the bottom of this wick here. So yeah, we want to better that position. What's going on here, Dow? Now we might go -1s. Actually, I might shut my mouth. Nah, see, just fast as it goes up, it can come right back down. I think the total P&L in the day there got to like a little over $100. That probably would have been the day to get out. We might enter at the -1s. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see if it wants to keep going. If it goes up and hits this target, that would probably, especially like I said, at 10:30, I got to go be a dad. $10:30, got to go be a dad.
Order submitted.
The reason I'm going back in is that was a nice push above, and this would be a good little retracement. We have the EMA there. That makes me very happy. We also have on the 30-minute time frame the EMA right there. That makes me happy. So I don't mind worsening my position there. It'll pretty much move my break even to here, which is still in the buy zone, still in the bid zone for me. So those are some reasons why I want to get in there. If we go up and we hit my sell target, my close target, that'll probably be it for me for today. There she goes. Go, boy. Especially, too, I think there's something to be said with the emotional toll that a trade can take on you. I mean, we entered this trade. How long have we been holding this trade for? We've been holding this trade since 9:32, right? The market open. So we're almost at an hour of emotional swings, highs and lows and things like that. So I think there's sometimes maybe you don't wait for your full target because like your brain can't stay sharp enough to manage it properly. I think that's definitely something that needs to be acknowledged and discussed. Like being in a trade for an hour is a long time for me. As far as like sitting here, if the orders were on the lines and I was doing my thing, but sitting here staring, that's just taking a lot of emotional capital away from me. So if I can get out alive and move on my day, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll answer that question in 1 second. So the EMA on the Rankos, if anything, I'm ever just using that as targets, not really entries. Yeah, that one is a little bit random. But I find the 233 on the 30-minute chart to be very statistically important. That's where I'm finding my trend. So, we can see these little micro trends up and down, but from a macro scale, the 233, which is a Fibonacci number, it's a number that many traders use. It seems, just from my experience, as little as that experience may be, it definitely gives a good statistical approach to what's going on in the markets as far as trends. So I definitely will use the 30-minute 233 a lot more for confluence and have it be a lot more meaningful to me than the 233 on the Ranko chart. if that makes sense. So back before when I was talking about how the Bookmap will help me stay in trades, like very, very tempted here. Like, okay, we've come up here twice. Like, Brad, take the money and run. But seeing those orders above and knowing that there's not a ton below, I'm kind of waiting to say, okay, I feel comfortable holding through here, right? Even though it's been rejected twice, I want to see if buyers really, really want to win this. Now, if all of these orders go down, especially with one right above it, and big buy orders pop up, that might be, I would feel a lot more comfortable than taking it off at those little levels. But I really want to see if buyers can come through and push through here, which is how I use the Bookmap and the level 2 to stay in trades. I don't use it for entries. I use it for exits. What we don't want to see is the most beautiful, biggest wick to the upside. Correct. Yep, that's exactly right. It's essentially a rolling 5-day trend average. Absolutely. So backing out the weekends, like, and it's the same for the ATR that I'm using. Like when I look at the average range over the last 7 days, right, that's backing out the weekend and giving me 5 trading days of statistical data. As far as that's how I determine if we're in volatility and things like that. Right, my volatility is determined by what the average range generally is for that instrument and then where we are. So if the average range is roughly right now 230, 823, and we have a 529, essentially the way I'll draw like my probable or possible range for the day is I look at yesterday's volume point of control and I do the ATR up and the ATR down. And that's essentially, if I'm looking at like, Brad, where would your stop losses be? Once we start approaching one full ATR to the downside or upside, regardless of where my entries were and what things are looking like, that's going to be an opportunity for me to know where my stops are and how I want to manage and get out of that. What's up? Yeah. No, it's great. What are they going to say? With Ryan or Paige? Great. Yeah. All right, guys, those orders are off the books. So I'm going to take this off right now.
Order filled.
I'm going to flat my positions now because my wife just reminded me that it is 10:29.
Order canceled.
And I said I was going to go be a dad at 10:30. So another thing I will say right now is when you exit a trade, 2 things are going to happen. 2 probable things are going to happen. It's either going to pump and you're going to say, I should have stayed in. Or it's going to go down and you're going to be like, thank God I got out. Once you're out of a trade, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. So this is good. Take your piece of the market. Shut your computers down for the love of all. Just do it. Be happy. I'm blessed that I made $70-something across 12 accounts and it's 10:30 in the morning. And now I get to go be a dad. Find those blessings to allow you to close the computer, step away from the charts, and go do something dope. I'm going to go play, gym, all these other things. Will I look at the charts this afternoon? Maybe, but probably not. I'm happy. All right. But I will be back tomorrow. If we are at 50% ATR at 9 a.m., I'll be here. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for the questions. Thank you for supporting a small channel. If you want to see like all my option stuff, check out my other main channel. Just type in Brad Finn. You'll see that stuff. And then very, very small Discord group if you want to hop in there. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow.